Well, it's Grand Prix weekend again. Life in the fast lane with an event that is speeding its way to becoming a sporting tradition around here. It's a time for star watching, parties, and unfortunately remembering. You should remember that after he raced in the Grand Prix last year, a man named Christopher Wilder shocked our town. Amy Huggins is with me to tell you about a story she did about the methods of a madman. Amy?
We got so much comment on this story when it first aired last May, we thought this was an appropriate time to show it again. The lesson it provided is as valid today as it was 1 year ago. It's about a man who was front page news for 2 weeks, a man suspected of kidnapping and killing a dozen women, a man we thought everybody had heard of. Boy, were we wrong.
Hi, my name's Rick Gordon of Rick Gordon Productions. You mind if I take your picture?
It's hard to believe that line could lure girls on the beach to a stranger's car in a matter of minutes. But surprisingly, it did when women on Fort Lauderdale Beach were approached recently by photographer Rick Gordon, most of them unaware that a man with a similar approach turned out to be a killer.
Christopher Wilder. It sounds familiar, but I don't know. Why? Should I?
I don't know. If I told you that he's a mass murderer, would that ring a bell?
Is he escaped?
Do you know who Christopher Wilder is?
No, I don't. You?
Oh, no. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
How soon they forget, and some never even knew that barely a month ago, Christopher Wilder crisscrossed this country on a murderous rampage.
I've never heard of him. Is it related to that girl who wrote the book, Little House on the Prairie? Laura Ingalls Wilder?
I'm doing this, and I'm trying to do some print work for a couple of local things down in Miami. And I'm trying to get some, some nice-looking girls, and somebody said we'll get down to Fort Lauderdale Beach. And
We hired actor Rick Galloway to pose as Rick Gordon. He helped prove the point that it's still very easy to pick up girls who don't see or read the news or don't pay much attention to it. We hid a microphone on Rick so we could hear what he was saying. The law prevented us from recording the women's responses while our TV camera was hidden from them. It took Rick less than 5 minutes to move in on his first victim. By the way, there was no film in Rick's camera.
all right, look at me, smile. Is your name Dawn? Okay, look at me. Here we go. Very nice. Okay, kind of gaze off like that into the... Very nice. What I'm trying to do is get people like standing by the car, sitting in the passenger side.
And off they went. Although the girl did not get into the car, Rick could have pushed her into the seat had he wanted her there. It was only a matter of minutes before Rick came back to his car with another girl. This one got in.
No, put your feet in. All right, here you go. Ready? Okay. Great. Now let me take one from the other side. Shut that door and let me take one over here.
This girl is in a dangerous position. She's sitting in a strange man's car with the door closed. It would have been easy for Rick to have driven away, but he didn't. It wasn't until he met 2 girls from Michigan minutes later that he actually drove off, with them right by his side.
I've got a Z car up here that if you want to sit in the Z car, you can have a picture taken in that or on that, which I'm trying to get a couple of different things. We also have a boat, if you're interested in a boat. Yeah, well, no, we'll go to the boat and then come back here. Here real quick, hold on a second. Okay. Where it says no parking.
Hi.
Hi.
We're not from Rick Gordon Enterprises. We are from Channel 4 working on a story, and we're curious as to why you got in the car with a stranger.
I followed her. What can I tell you?
A man named Christopher Wilder just went across the country murdering women all over the country about 2 weeks ago before he killed himself, and this is the way he got women into his car.
Wow.
Are you surprised?
Yeah.
Have you learned a lesson, or would you think twice about doing this again?
I would. I was thinking twice in the beginning, but I figured with 2 of us it would be all right.
See, we don't want anything bad happen to you nice girls, so this is why we're doing this.
Rick approached about a dozen women during the day. All of them let him take their picture. Incredibly, only a few asked for credentials proving he was who he said he was. Promises of fame and fortune, it seems, overshadow concerns for safety, according to real professional photographers.
There's a lot of naive people that because you have a camera, they think that they're going to be in show business, you know, instantly.
There are some people that use that to get women, and it does work. Not all the time, but it is a good ploy because you can attract women with that camera on your shoulder.
Do you want your picture taken?
Is this on Miami Beach?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale? Same thing everywhere, though. Really doesn't matter.
We showed our tapes to Miami homicide detective Luis Vasquez. Vasquez handles cases like this after girls get into strangers' cars and sometimes turn up dead.
I'm not surprised because girls are just, so many of them are, first of all, unaware of what's going on around them. They don't read the newspapers. Most of them don't watch TV.
This may sound like a silly question, but are women placing themselves in dangerous positions by getting in a car with a stranger?
Of course. It's not necessarily going to end up like a Wilder case, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to get hurt. They may get robbed, they may get raped or beaten up. If you don't know that person, you really shouldn't be going off with them.
Yeah, okay. Let me take your picture. Smile.
Really an amazing story, Amy, but do you think we've learned any lessons from this?
Well, we wanted to see, so we went out last week and asked if Christopher Wilder was remembered at all 1 year later.
Do you remember who Christopher Wilder was?
Yes, I do.
Who was he?
He was suspected of the disappearances of the girls in relation to the Grand Prix race.
Does the name Christopher Wilder mean anything to either of you?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
But he was a murderer.
He was what?
He killed the women, the models or the women.
He killed all those people, all those girls.
No. The name doesn't ring a bell?
No. He was the man that they believed murdered a number of models in the area and was eventually killed up in Connecticut or something.
Strange they seem to not know Wilder then, but they know about him now. It's amazing. Well, what about those missing girls, Amy?
Well, there's two from Miami, Beth Kenyon and Rosario Gonzalez. The police believe that Wilder did take them and kill them both. However, the family of Rosario Gonzalez still has hope that she is alive, and her family was at the race today handing out flyers with her picture on them. And as far as the police are concerned, the Kenyon and Gonzalez cases are open, but they don't have an active search going.
I know women must be thinking this. How can we protect ourselves from situations like this?
Well, I'm one who believes that a good loud scream and a swift kick will do in a lot of situations. However, in something like this, simply being aware might be your best protection of all. Watch the TV news once in a while, turn on the radio, pick up a paper now and then and see what's happening. It may help you later that you don't know about when you're watching.
Okay, thank you, Amy. And congratulations on all those awards you won for that story.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay.